Honorable Chabinga, President Chabinga, good evening.
Good evening, blessings. Good evening, Sage. It's always nice to be here, and good evening, viewers throughout the country that are watching this program tonight.
President, we'll start the conversation from where it is hottest. Bill 7 is now almost law and is awaiting President Hakainde Hichilema to assent to it. PF, under your leadership, has supported this bill. Now, is it because it is a genuine support for the bill that serves the Zambian people, or was it passed, as the loud whispers suggest, through a transactional process?
Thank you so very much, Sage, for that question. First of all, I just want to state this, that the process, first we'll start with the process and the role of Parliament. Mm-hmm. Our major business transaction of the day is to make laws, and that's why we are called the legislature. Just the way we have the executive, the judiciary, and ourselves as the legislatures. And when we are elected in our various constituents, we are elected as 156 constituencies in the country, and the president has to nominate 8. Now, it means that we are representing the country, and our major objective is to represent our people throughout the country. Mm-hmm. Now, when we say the amendment has to be done of the Constitution, first and foremost, the Constitution that we had a lot of lacunas. And I'll tell you that, in fact, the executive, or rather the sponsor of that bill that came, that Bill 7, there were even other controversial clauses that have not even been brought to attention. Number one, first I'll start by stating that we only have 3 processes of making amendments of the Constitution. Number one is by a private member's motion. One member can sit and say this clause is not okay, and can bring it on the floor of the House. Number 2, even you as a citizen, you can petition Parliament to amend a certain law. Anybody. Number 3 is the executive, through the president, to propose the amendments. And our role is to interrogate, look at it, call the witnesses. But before you start anything else, Parliament has a duty to appoint a select committee. In return, the clerk of the National Assembly will invite different stakeholders for submissions. And it is done. But of course, if you might recall that I've never been very much talking about the bill when there were a lot of debates, and it's good that you have called me now when we're discussing the main issue. So whatever concerns that were raised by the stakeholders, I think the sponsor, the executive, when they listen to the cry of our people in the country, they deferred the bill. That would defer it for further consultation. And through that further consultation, the technical committee was put, which people are making submissions. And they went throughout the country. Because the cry of the people was that this was not done. There was no inclusivity. But they did what they could by bringing stakeholders. The sponsor even went further to say, okay, when people wanted to demonstrate, they were even allowed to say, let's have the dialogue. And they had the dialogue. But still, even after the dialogue, some individuals, and first I want to put it very clear that some individuals, unfortunately with selfish interests, have been taking as if their stance is of the organizations that they represent or where they're coming from, which is far from the truth. There are some organizations that are being misrepresented by selfish individuals. But alas, that is what under the bridge. The sponsor brought the bill back to Parliament. As what to do a duty. And that duty, first we looked critically for each and every clause. And those clauses that were not favorable, which everybody talked about, and one of them, which even members of Parliament were not comfortable with, was the issues with regards that in an event, in a constituency, there's a vacancy. The political party that had the person in that constituency must replace. Or if the person has resigned, or by misperadventure gets incapacitated, or whatever, in whichever form, the party has to replace. That brought a lot of controversy, because it meant that we were going to have members of Parliament who would be loyal to the party as opposed to the electorates. But our role is to make sure that we're answerable to the electorates. So now, having said that, I want to give an example. I am in charge of the Patriotic Front. And if we were to go by that bill and support it, I would have woken up immediately the president has sent it. And I'll fire everybody who is not working with me. Everybody will be fired and replace them tomorrow. I'm backed by the Constitution. What would have happened? And from the time I took over, all these that have been talking, going around circles, I would have fired them and replaced. Starting, I would have started with my predecessor, was leader of opposition, Honorable Munduvite. I would have fired him and appoint somebody in Porokoso. I would have gone for Mao Sampa from Matero. I would have fired him and I would have replaced him. You can imagine the confusion that would have been. So, for me, we said, no, let's do away with this. I don't want to explain much, even other, in the interest of time, even other controversial clauses where the sponsor said, look, this is not there. And one of the most interesting part was the delimitation. My brother, some constituencies are so vast. I can give you one. Kasempa, Mfumbwe, Rufuanyama, okay, Katombora. This, my brother, you don't even joke about them. I'll give you another one in the Central Province that I can give is the Muchinga constituency. It starts, if you are going along Great North Road from Undabala up to Lavushimanda there, a place called Nakalengole. Kilometers and kilometers. Mafinga itself, I'll tell you, Mafinga, from my village to the last point near Chitipa, it's 280 kilometers. And from a polling station called Kachirikila to Chipakama, it's 180 kilometers. That's a constituency. So tell me, if you are here in Lusaka, where does 180 kilometers ends? It's only 135 kilometers from here to Kabwe. But me, that is the windy. That is my constituency. I go beyond.
Ideally.
So for me, I'll tell you, I wanted to tell you that where you have a constituency from the post office to Kapirimposhi, that is one of that's how part of my constituency is. And that's on a flat land. You see, I've got the valley and the plateau. It's not something of the joke. My finger itself is big, and they say, look, we need to divide it. And moreover, the other problem that I'll tell you, I have 4 chiefs in my finger with the 4 different tribes. I want you to understand, to manage 4 chiefdoms, 4 tribes. I have the Chief Myombe in the Tumbuka speaking people where I'm coming from. I have Chief Mwene Chifungwe of the Fungwe and Nyika speaking people in Chief Mwene Chifungwe. I have Chief Mwene Wisi in the Vulambia speaking people. And I have part of the Chief Katiete under the Tambo speaking people. All these 4 chiefs want their children to be members of parliament. So you need to use a lot of wisdom to handle that kind of a situation. So if my finger is cut into 2, so that we can even have a situation where one member of parliament at least is covering 2 chiefdoms and another member of parliament is covering 2 chiefdoms, and a small half, better that way. Then also the equity issues of the when we say decentralization coming, development closer to the people, that's what we need. So that's why you saw the members of parliament. I know there was, when your preamble, you were talking about the 3 million dreaming. There was the money exchanging of hands. No, first and foremost, I want to tell you. First, I'll start. During our time as PF, Honorable Brian Mundubera was government chief whip. And the late Tutu Angulube was his deputy. May so rest in peace. They distributed the money and the money. Did the bill go through? They distributed money and the money. Did the bill go through? Because we are saying there was transaction. The bill never went through, even with the huge sums of money. But this one, I'll tell you, first and foremost, I want to protect and defend strongly my members of parliament, that no one collected any single way from anybody. They were convinced beyond reasonable doubt that this bill meant well for the Zambian people. This bill was supporting and is supporting the women participation in politics. This bill is supporting youths participating in politics. This bill is supporting the people living with disabilities. That was the conviction.
Okay. Honorable, if you're saying that this was conviction and this was, from what you have said, a genuine attempt by, which has been successful, your members of parliament, to vote this bill on behalf of the Zambian people, where is this conversation of the 3 million then coming from? Where is the conversation? Just this morning we hosted Honorable Binwa Mpundu, who mentioned that some MPs were brought to parliament in a bus. He mentioned quite a number of things. Where is the conversation of the 3 million coming from?
First, you must know that I want to tell you, we were supposed to close parliament. We were supposed to close parliament on the 12th. And we had to suspend the standing orders because the business did not finish. And we looked at a lot of bills on the order paper. And if anything, we were supposed to close when the standing orders committee sat, which I belong to, which is chaired by the Right Honorable Madam Speaker. We said we shall adjourn the Synod today, the 16th, because we had a lot of bills that did not finish. And one of the bills, this was just one of the bills, we had a lot of bills. This was just one of the bills, the Bill 7. So, the issue of first and foremost picking the members of parliament that they were being brought by the bus. Though I was in the chamber, I don't know what was happening outside, but I want to state this very clear that it is common practice that parliament, there are times they know the members of parliament that if we want to manage, when we've done the extension beyond the stipulated time, National Assembly provide a bus from Parliament Motel to National Assembly, to Parliament buildings.
So there was nothing sinister.
Because this has been a normal. It happens each and every time. If you are trying to move with a lot of time, and if there's issues to do with traffic, most of the time, in order for the members to arrive on time, such things always happen. But I was inside. I didn't know what was happening outside. Now, the 3 million, what you must know, I'll tell you, if I was head of state, president, this indiscipline of you misusing of social media, I would close it. Because social media has moved away from its purpose, and now it's like a tool where, one, people have to create lies because it will cough like bushfire. 2, that's where there's a high level of personal character assassination. And I'm not going to take it like as leader of opposition, where my members are being accused of, they are now going to their constituencies. Some of them, they were getting loans. It's very unfair to start attacking my members because they supported my brother. How true is that you can bribe everybody and they vote the way they voted? How come? Because if you want to bribe, if you are trying to bribe, you don't bribe everybody. And if you have to look at the situation, I've heard even they're saying people were quarantined. So can I ask one question? The people that are being accused that they were quarantined, they came to parliament.
And the bus. No, the people that were brought using the bus.
Thank you. They were saying they were quarantined and they were brought in by the bus. They came to parliament. Honorable Mondovile quarantined the people. Some members of the of parliament, they did not come for parliament. So who bribed who? I'm asking you, two gentlemen, who bribed who? The people, wait, the people that came to parliament, or the people that stayed away and they were quarantined? So who was paid? Because there was an allowance that is usually paid to members. So what prompted, we are closing parliament and our members are running low because they bury the funerals and the problems in their constituencies each and every day. So what prompted those people who support Honorable Mondovile not to come to lose the 2,000 kwacha? So it means they were paid somewhere. Actually, they're the ones who must be at the center stage, because actually Honorable Mondovile is known for that, because they're the one who are dishing money in the Bill 10. So my members, royalist members of parliament, because they wanted that allowance, they had to come to parliament to say, you need to make something because to make a difference in their constituency. So who bribed who? Number 2, we have seen these things even by Honorable Mao Sampa. There has been this accusation, even Honorable Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba accusing the people to say, I even saw that there's a letter to Anti-Corruption Commission to say no members have to be what? Actually, I want to take this opportunity to warn, I'm not even negotiating, to warn those people that are abusing my members of parliament's names, that they were corrupt, that they received them 3 million kwacha when in fact not. That's totally unacceptable. And I want to tell my members and assure members of parliament, you have your leader of opposition and you have the president in me who cares for you. I will never allow anybody to victimize my members. we shall sue that individual, and I'll make sure that they claim each one of them not less than $1 million. And we shall hurt trauma, pain and suffering, their names being put in disrepute, their constituents, they're attacking them to say you have money and you're not sending for us Christmas. We shall add together to come to $1 million for each member of parliament. And I'll look for them lawyers.
Mr. President, for months you have threatened on public forums consistently that you're going to sort out those who are going to continue to masquerade as PF, party officials, undermining your directive and claiming parallel leadership. Now, this is like a perpetual loop. When are we going to see actual action on these people that seem to be undermining your authority? Just now, you're from making another threat.
It's not a threat. First, when you are in charge, that's why we are so calm, so sweet, because we're in charge. We don't need to start. We cannot even threaten them, warn them. Now, the warnings have been very too much. First, number one, we didn't want to be using physical. And I think for me, I've been abused left, right, and center in the social media. These guys, you must know that they believe and they do things with impunity. First and foremost, I'll start with the Honorable Given Lubinda. I've seen even yesterday or somewhere talking that no honorable, my Secretary General, Mr. Ngona, went to court and they said he did not know how I became president, which was a lie, and there was no such thing, because they believe. That's why you see they lose cases every day, because what their lawyers and themselves, what they present in court, is not that they inform their followers. They want to cosmetic a thing to their followers to make things that, Honorable Chabinga, because he supports President HH on developmental programs, therefore Chabinga is a project of HH. And this is why they have insinuated to say, when I was guiding as leader of opposition in the House, they insinuated to say, no, Honorable Chabinga had a hand in making sure that the vote went that because he's closer to President HH. Honorable Ruvinda, I know you are watching. I'm a man who has respect for elders. But I want to advise you, my big man. When you are growing old, you need to be having some wisdom. We don't want as young people to become very sensitive and we start exchanging words. I'm a gentleman and I'm young. I can be anything at any given time if I want to. So, Honorable Given Lubinda is power angry. So I cannot waste time to be arguing with a man who is very power angry. I don't want to repeat what the former Secretary General of our party, Honorable Davis Mwera, what he said. I don't want to be part of that. He said it. You know it, what he said. Number two, Honorable Lubinda was the one at the center of delaying the convention of the PF because he wanted to be a leader. And it has shown now. Power angry. I told it was this platform, I said, look, when you look at Team Chabs, it's so calm, sweet, collective, and very welcoming. But when you look at these guys, check, I told you, how many are they? I don't know, from their own camp, and they're fighting one another. Now, I want to warn Honorable Ruvinda to stop masquerading. You are not the president of the Patriotic Front Party. You are not. And not even Honorable Chimbaka Mbwiri. I don't even know when he joined back in the PF, because he was in DC and he was checked out. The constitution is very clear. When you come, when we went to the other party, we need to start from the word. We don't even know when Honorable Chimbaka Mbwiri rejoined the party. We don't know. But he's talking the loudest. It doesn't matter how many years you have been in the party, but it's what is sometimes it's what. So you cannot attack me. Honorable Sampa, whom went with to the convention, he misbehaved on his own because of wanting fast money. He misbehaved himself. I did not put myself as acting president of the party. It's the same central committee that he created. I never appointed anybody as a central committee. apart from the time that I came in. So that is the subject for another day. But what I'm trying to say is that first, number one, you were asking about the steps. I didn't want to use violence. I would have used violence. But I want peace because I'm a peacemaker.
Honorable Chabinga,
and that's why, let me finish. That's why you could see the members yesterday unanimously, because we had a collective efforts, collective ideologies, collective insaka, collective dialogue. That's what delivered that bill. And I want people of Zambia must thank President Hakainde Hichilema for bringing the bill that actually, in my view, in certain areas, it would have been hating him in his heart. And that's when you are making the bill or the constitution, it must hate you in your heart where you're not comfortable. Every well-meaning Zambians must support President HH and must support the members of parliament. All of them who supported that bill, especially those from PF. I can guarantee you, my members, we are with Team Chabs. I want to assure you that you'll be adopted. You retain your seats, and no one will fight you, and no one will expel you. I said it. Today we have by-elections. They are claiming that they are the presidents of the party. In Chawama there, they have gone for FDD. Yeah, because I've refused to sign any document, because we're in court. We don't want to work in confusion. We want to come and participate in a general elections, and I want my members who are royal. Guys, just drop your egos. Drop your egos. Just come, I'm your brother. Come, we talk, so that you can be part and parcel of the Team Chabs, which is so sweet, calm, and collective, who believes in dialogue. Whether you insulted me, whether you thought I'm a non-entity, but I can tell you, we mean serious business. That's why you must be observing me. When you are talking the loudest, I go quiet. Yeah. When you are trying to slow down, then I come out.
We had asked our viewers a number of questions, and Blessings is about to get into those questions. Before this program, we asked some questions. Blessings.
Maybe to start with, Honorable, a lot of stakeholders, you did indicate that there was an attempt to dialogue with the owners of the bill that you proposed, but it did not work out. To cite the Oasis Forum did indicate that they were not against really the content of the bill, but the procedure. Maybe to getting back to you, Honorable, do you think this bill, the procedure, the way the UPND government brought it on board, do you think the bill, the process was right, or maybe they need to follow the?
I gave you, I gave you in my preamble. I gave you that we have how many processes?
You did mention 3 processes.
3 processes.
And the stakeholders also feel the bill was hurried. Do you think the UPND have a hidden agenda why this bill really wanted to pass?
First and foremost, we have asked me as UPND. I'm not UPND. So
do you think,
as leader of opposition,
which the people of Zambia need to know?
I scanned through that bill, checked it thorough. That's why I was quiet. Read several times each and every clause to check if there was a clandestine. There wasn't. What is the interest of President Hakainde Hichilema in increasing the constituencies? He has actualized the decentralization. Increased the CDF from 1.6 to 40. So if in Mafinga I have 2 CDFs at 80 million, do you know what that 80 million will do? Proper. We have here, just here in Lusaka, we have Kanyama constituency. My brother, you cannot compare Kanyama constituency, and I'll give you another example of Kanyama constituency and the one constituency of my brother called Momba constituency. Is my friend, Honorable Chatila. It's smaller, but it has the same CDF. So the impact of CDF, the way to work in Momba, and the way to work in Kanyama, and the way to work in Mafinga, totally different. Totally different arrangement. All of us who have been allocated about 3.67 million kwacha of fuel for our graders, for earth moving equipments, to do everything. The way the earth moving equipment will work here in Lusaka, in Lusaka Central, and the way the earth movement will move in Mafinga is totally different. The first 50 liters of diesel will finish, or the moving on this earth equipment by low bed to take it from Tendere to Mpangala. Already 50 liters has gone before starting any job. Do you see the difference? Whilst this one will just come from the council and go into Lusaka Central and start working. So these are some of the dynamics. So my view, President HH and his team, they did a tremendous job by saying, look, let's increase the constituencies. Number two, we have been, women have been crying for so many years. Do you think there's an agenda of increasing the women? Do we have an agenda of increasing the youths? Do they have an agenda of increasing the people with disability? The answer is no. So what hidden agenda? There was no hidden agenda. The only problem from our colleagues in the Oasis Forum, go to Mafinga and ask if the Oasis Forum exists in Mafinga. Nothing. But in Lusaka, it is plenty. Why don't they even have an office in Mafinga? Zero. And you want me in Mafinga and my people in Mafinga. We start clapping. Oasis Forum, Oasis Forum. Nothing. Number two, laws. And I want to... Do you know the people actually who are misleading the country? Laws has become like an animal. And they are lucky that I'm leader of opposition. If I was a backbencher, properly, I would have moved the motion to have another institution. And remember, there was another time when the late, may so rest in peace, Obudekabwe wanted to bring such kind of an arrangement so that laws are competitive, because it has become as if it is the one which is misleading. So it is just a tool where people have to dance. So I'll ask you, do I have representation in my finger of laws? Zero. Ask them if they have even a pro bono laws, if they have represented anybody from my finger, and they are saying we are representing the masses of Zambians. Which Zambians? They must tell you that the only problem there is the same who are accusing my members of parliament, the same people who are accusing us. And I want to put this very clear. No, Chabinga has eaten, Chabinga has done what? The same people that are insulting me through my sweat. Through my sweat. And I never collected any money. When President Lungu, may he so rest in peace, when we were putting him as president, I fought tooth and nail. I never collected any money. I've asked them these questions to ask them, let them come and tell you on the platform that Chabinga, we worked with him and we gave him so much. Everybody, no one will tell you that I ate man. But do they want to accuse me to say I ate man? No. These guys, it's selfishness which is in them. If you were to give Oasis Forum and others, I don't want to attack any individuals. If they had issues, they would have raised. Because our people, we are interested in content. We should not be interested into the issues, the process. I've told you the process. As if you move a private member's bill, why don't people complain? I'll give you one practical example. Honorable JJ brought in the bill to parliament, private members, to say all ex-members of parliament and other people that have served in the country for what they must have diplomatic passports. Where was Oasis Forum? Where was Laz to say the process was not done properly? Let's not be hypocrites. And I want, there are three. So for this, the private members, the individuals petitioning, it is okay. When the executive proposes, no, we want the constitution that is that will last the test of time. That is people driven. Do we have any animal driven constitution for people to be saying we need people driven? Do we have an animal constitution driven? No, we don't have. So the point that I'm trying to say is that people should not be hypocrites. Canonivo, I'll tell you, NCC, which I saw very well, which President Manawas allowed them, how much millions of dollars of kwachas went into the NCC. People are sharing allowances. I want to thank HH because there was no platform of where people were making too much money. People bought vehicles on the NCC, some of them. So it's a way when there's an issue, that's the time they want to eat. He did well, there's no eating. And we did it yesterday, members of parliament. Kudos to parliament. These are the best. Actually, they must be elevated from honorable members to the right honorable members of parliament for doing the right thing yesterday.
Honorable Chabinga, they are saying you've delivered Bill 7 to the UPND by convincing opposition members of parliament. Did you, by any chance, convince your members to vote for the bill? And if yes, how did you do it? You did it for free?
My dear friend, what I'll tell you, I'm the leader of opposition. And I have members of parliament. And people are thinking I don't have members. I think that was the whole thing that was, hey, Chabinga is alone. I told you, it was on this platform that, during one of my press briefing, I said, I have a way how I operate. I have a way how I operate. And I can't tell you my secret on how I operate because I don't want to jeopardize. But what I'll tell you is very simple. I used that one of my press briefing that you don't expose your ammunitions that you are using. And when they were saying, no, Chabinga is ever alone. If I want, I can bring buses and buses of people to come and be with me. But for what point, I said, my lieutenants, you must be where you are as we are working, because first and foremost, it's better people are targeting at one person, Chabinga. Meanwhile, my lieutenants are doing the job. So we have a way how we operate.
Congratulations to you, President. People are saying that you are the man of the moment for making sure that Bill 7 passes. And
not only Bill 7 passing. Hey, we must be saying passing with serious numbers, not where the numbers you start counting going to the drawing board. Remember, even before we started voting, I told the nation, and that's why I had to set a tone. So that the nation should not be doubting to say this bill will go through. I wanted those people who are busy praying that this bill must drop down. Must be dropped, rather. Sorry if I gave you BP and that attacks. Unfortunately, that's how life is.
You did indicate, Honorable, talking about life. When you are given an opportunity on the floor of the House to debate the bill, you said life is not fair. What did you mean?
Oh, life is not fair, my friend. First, we must know that even in heaven, there was a time when life was not fair, when God gave one angel to be singing all voices, to be praising him. Soprano, alto, tenor, bass, baritone, adding with the saxophones and so on and so forth. How many angels did God have? He had many. And they chose one guy who was singing all the voices. Why didn't he bring those things? And was brought down here on earth. Why do you expect if life there was not fair? You expect life to be fair here. Unfortunately, it's which side of the coin that you have to. And to my people that were disappointed with the outcome, not every effort that you do in your life works to your advantage, unfortunately. Not every effort that you do works to your advantage. Sometimes it will go either way. So it's not what you think. The best thing that you do is, remember, I even used another term. We feed the food that is on the table. We don't feed the food that is in the bush. So you think, even my fellow members, headed by Honorable Munduvire, they go outside signing petitions. They are signing, we are not going to attend. We are not going to attend. We are not going to attend. Come on. No, we need to march. It's like you are marching. You cannot go in the into hunting in the bush and you are shooting everywhere. You need to have a target. And the target that they would have done is very simple. It's by engaging in a proper way members of parliament. Honorable Jean Kapata, who is she? Who is she in the party to say party national chairperson? Where? Now, this is what the problem is. They are outside. Chimura Kwati said and blessings. You are here in this studio and you are lying to yourselves to say, oh, now we are in the New York Times and this is what we are reporting from New York Times. Meanwhile, you are here in Rhodes Park. You understand? That's what was happening. What I mean is, they are busy lying to themselves to say, we shall expel people. Do they have powers to expel anybody?
That's
they
right.
they have nothing. My brother, they have nothing. They are just lying to themselves. And sometimes I sit down, I start thinking, we shall back and unfortunately, Katuishi Fila Chitika, I think I mentioned Mutunambo Sankana, because if you look at them, the way they are talking, and what the brain is thinking, it's like there's some mixed up. It's like wawula sugar you put in an engine oil. I don't know if you sankana sugar in engine oil. This is what is happening to our colleagues.
As I was congratulating you for what people are saying, that Chabs International is the man of the moment, you have said that you have promised your members of parliament, at least those that voted, yes, in this case, positions that they're going to, be readopted come 2026. But your party still remains in a legal battle, and as things stand, you can't participate in any election. So what guarantee are you giving, and what assurance are you giving your members of parliament that voted with you that they're going to stand on the Patriotic Front ticket come 2026?
First, I want to tell you, not that we are not able to participate in an election. The only thing that we have done, I want to concentrate. Remember, we don't go into an election to lose. You go in an election to win. I'll give you one practical example. I don't want to give any other people. I want to give on me, myself. I attempted in my finger to stand once and won landslide. So, if me am participating in an area, I don't believe in failing, and I'm not a failure, and I'll never be one, and I don't belong to failures. Where there are failures, you won't see me very active, because I scan, I check, here, things are looking, don't forget, I'll come and tell you here, things are not okay. If you go to Electoral Commission of Zambia now, right now, if yesterday I had to sign an adoption certificate
for Chawama, for example, would you participate?
Would have participated. But the only issue is that I don't want to mix things between by-election and I'm in court. So I need first to concentrate in court. Number two, the courts, because they are our better referees. I respect the courts. I'm not like my colleagues who does things with impunity, and they use social media. Them, they use it to mislead social media and to mislead their followers. And that's why always they are always wired. Everywhere they are always wired, and they start complaining. So I don't want to talk much about the court issues, but what I can tell you is that not that we cannot participate in an election. Any election we can participate, because the specimen at Electoral Commission of Zambia is my signature and Honorable Bongwana's signature. So we are the ones who are the only ones who can sign for a Patriotic Front party to stand. So I want to assure my members, there is the limitation. The other constituency goes for another person. You remain where you are strong. Very simple. And I'm advising you, now the constituencies will be too many. Just reorganize yourselves properly, and I want to assure them and guarantee. Why? They have shown the Zambian people, you don't change the winning team. You don't. Only losers, then you change. These guys who are just jumping anyhow, tomorrow they are here. You can imagine somebody like my brother Bao Sampa. He was the president yesterday. He went to hand over area that have handed over the party. When this side I'm in charge. There he was appointed as leader of opposition. Who wrote the letter to the Madam Speaker? Expelled Nakachinda. Remember, I expelled Nakachinda, I expelled Given Luwinda, I expelled Wankaduluo. Maybe you've forgotten. I expelled them. And they were and they're saying, no, we'll be adopting people. Okay, they're adopting. Okay, we'll leave it. Where will they go? The next thing, we see Mao Sampa, leader of opposition. Did he sit as leader of opposition? Nothing. Okay, we are waiting. The next thing, we see now has been relegated from being president to deputy secretary general of I don't know what's the name of their party. They were being saying we're organizing convention. Which convention? I'm the one in charge, and Mr. Ngona. And we went, Mr. Ngona went to court to stop the convention, to get an injunction, to stop using. And we're watching. They are doing contempt of courts with impunity. We have seen Honorable Rubinda still signing some documents on the name of Patriotic Front.
Your party, Mr. President, has about 54 members of parliament. Almost more than half of those did not vote with you. What is your relationship with those members of parliament that did not vote yes for Bill 7? And what is the way forward with the Patriotic Front?
Now, let me tell you. From all those that did not sit, who did not come to vote in their constituencies, they are very weak and they can't win. They can't win. I'll start with himself, Honorable Mundubire. Can't win. You remember in 20, you go and check the list at the Electoral Commission of Zambia. How many votes did you win with in Mporokoso? Just go and check. My brother, my lovely brother, Honorable Mutotoka Fwaya, ask him how many votes, and he can't win. Check. All of them I can go on and list. If you are tikula konka, echikonke konke. Those can't win. Those who came to vote for the bill, check their performance in their constituencies. They are strong. Nobody can lose.
Is it fair to say there is no relationship that exists between you
and what I'm saying? What I'm saying is because some of them, the biggest problem of some of them is an ego. Because this is Chabinga. So why should some of them know I was a minister so I can? But if you look, okay, they were ministers, but I've been very much experienced in terms of politics than some of them. The only thing is that I just delayed to come. I would have been a minister even by way back as 2006. I would have been a member of parliament and a minister. That's a real truth and the reality. That's the truth and the reality. I would have been. But people still have an ego. Now, if you are kwebati, ulina want you addressing the people. Now we can akanshi. You are seated. It's like you are driving a car. You are seated. You have remained on the seat or the chair. The vehicle is gone. And then they're asking you, sir, what are you doing? Your car is gone there. I'm in the car to come and check. You are just sitting on a chair. That's what is happening to some of our colleagues. So when you talk about more than half, Bambi, ni uchamwenso. Because most of them, some of the people who are there, they adopted them. The goodness is that kwa banga bamwabaifwe. Fosha kwa tamwenso. Ine mwana ntina kofe, I've told you several times. Ntina kofe lesa nensala.
What action are you going to take? That's if at all there is an action you're going to take.
So the action.
Parliament that did not vote. Yes.
We first and foremost we are remaining with months before Parliament is dissolved. I told you they will start looking for me. And when they'll start looking for me, I'll be relaxing in Mauritius. From Mauritius, when I know that he has jumped on a flight, my friend, even when I'm in Mauritius, I'm now in Malaysia, my friend. We need to make a plan. Some of them, that will be the end of the political career. Some of the friends there, some of them have got money. Others have nothing. And I want to tell you, the same group that is headed by my brother, Honorable Mundubire, misread the Honorable Munia Zulu. Where is Munia Zulu? In. Who misread them? The same team. They misread Honorable Mabonga. Where is Honorable Mabonga? Uyo. Batenuna. I feel so bad. So, you need to kulairuka. So some of the elders, and that's why one of the elders that I want to appreciate for making a right decision and saying no, things have to be correct, is Honorable. Remember Mutale who realized, say no. I think remember he's a very senior, he's a senior member and has been in the party for quite some time. They were the Honorable Mpankata, whom they are accusing and attacking each and every day. He was the first PF member of parliament in 2001. And we have to respect such kind of people who says, no, we need to do things, but they want to insult him. They want the people who are very much new, they want the person who was there to fetch him. We can't allow that. So my issue is, my hands are open. You guys, some of you are my friends. Come to Shabs. Don't feel shy. If you can't meet me because you are scared, there is SG. If you are scared, there is the Honorable Vusha, the other side. If there is Honorable Mungando. If you are scared, there is Honorable Daka. They will receive you and you talk. They will talk to you nicely, and we can move together as a team. We need to keep this part as patriotic front. We need to keep it. The way people are saying, I've sold it to the UPND. This party shall not be sold to the highest bidder. I'm still in charge, and Honorable Bongana is still in charge, and that's why we are correct with our books. We have even done the annual returns, which our party from 2014 to 2023, there was no single annual returns that the party did when we were in power.
President,
with impunity.
As we draw to the conclusion of our conversation tonight, there's an issue which you have raised. You've talked about by-elections that have taken place in Petauke, in Lumezi, and now a by-election is about to take place in Chawama, which your party was occupying.
Yes.
And this has been caused due to the delayed burial of the former president. Now, this situation has brought about a very tense environment in your political party and in these factions. But my question really is, if you are Team Chabs, the calm, cool, collected, how have you not managed to bring all parties involved together to ensure that President Lungu is given a befitting burial?
Again, the same way they were delaying to go to the convention from 2021, the same people, they are the ones who went to mislead the former first family, surrounding the first lady, misleading her. As they were misleading, they were collecting money from people. Busy collecting money from people. I will repeat, if you look at some of them, before the death of President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, may so rest in peace, they were thin. Even their trousers were not fitting properly. But after the funeral, they became fat. They started looking nice. From South Africa. That was what's happening. I don't want to mention, you know them. Plenty of them. They were, hey, my brother. They started even looking frail. Now they are looking smooth. Because of the funeral. So, the issue is, some of them have been left in the body to come and be a presidential candidate. And they were busy saying, President HH should not attend the funeral. And the same people are the ones who have come that they want to stand as president. The same people, if they failed to win an election as member of parliament, what of presidency? They were busy saying, even as us, all of us, they sent us, I don't know how many messages I received in the night. I don't know how many, even in the morning, that I should not participate into voting for the bill. Now, Papa San, I've told these friends of mine, what is happening? Let them sit down. The soul of President Edgar Chagwa Lungu is not at peace. That's why some of them, things are not working to them. Whatever they do, remember I use the language that not every effort that you do, they must sit down first and have self-introspection. Are we doing the correct and right thing? And I've told the people, if they want to come and talk to me, that we sit down and negotiate to start talking about the PF party, let's bury President Edgar Lungu. Let's bring the body. When we bury President Lungu, then we start talking. However, don't come and talk to me to say I want to be president, because there shall be no convention. What the convention in 2023, The next convention we shall have is in 2027. So here we need to look at who can stand as presidential candidate. So I'm president of the party. Who tells them that I don't want to be president?
Okay.
So they must start talking about the vice president, the running mate issue with me. Talk to me nicely as the running mate. Not start talking about my position. This position is already occupied.
Are you not going to the table with, you know, conditions already attached to an agreement? And is the table then really open for, you know, dialogue?
What I'm saying is, for the sake of our party, we are people of dialogue. Remember President HH showed on the dialogue on the bill. We sat with my members of parliament, discussed about dialogue. I'm ready for dialogue, but the condition is very simple. Let's bury our 60th Republican president, and who was the president of the party. Number 2, don't come with an ego that you want to take over as the president. I'm in charge. So if you want to come nicely, with your ego down.
Okay. Mr. President, we have a few months before the 2026 general election. You've told us and you've assured your members of adoption. And you've just indicated that you are the current president of the Patriotic Front. We understand also that you are working with the ruling party in alliance with the UPND. Are we seeing you on the ballot come 2026, or you... you
will see me on the ballot in whichever way form. You will see me on the ballot in whichever way form. You will see me on the ballot. I did not start politics not to be on the ballot. I started politics to be on the ballot, and you will see me on the ballot.
These seeming divisions within the Patriotic Front have alienated some of the party supporters. Some supporters with the people that you're saying are not, you know, have not bought into your vision. How do you intend to rebuild the trust of these people? Because there may be many in number that are within the Patriotic Front, but are with people that are not in agreement with you. So
no, I'll tell you very simple. Did you believe, I'll ask you a question. Did you believe that the bill is going through with such numbers? First, the second reading, we only had 2 who voted against. Third reading, did you have anything there? 0. What does it tell you? That is number 1 aspect you have to remember. Secondly, I want to give you just a practical example. I mobilized in Mafinga from 2013 to 2016. 2016, 2021, I only stepped a foot in Mafinga once in 2018 because I was invited to go and help with a by-election. We were losing that by-election as PF. I only went there for 2 days and the mood changed. I won. I was not in the country. I was in Kinshasa, Kenya, Dubai. I sent my application letters through courier, and it was couriered. I went to Mafinga. Even when the Buffalo Kunyunya, I went to independent, and the chiefs realized they sat me down, the elders, to say this. I wanted to go independent. So think twice. How do I become popular in an area where I have not stepped a foot from 2016? I came 2018 to 2019. Only 1 month. Then I came in 2021. I won landslide. So don't think, the point I'm trying to tell you is that, have you ever seen me going around the country? No. Watch the space. I just go one round. Chubbs does not pass through somewhere without leaving a mark. Thank God I've been given that gift. If I just start Eastern Province, Muchinga, Northern, Luapula, by the time I'm reaching Lusaka, my friend, all the structures, because abantu na balamona, pandushaba no bufi. These guys believes in lies. They like telling people what is not there. Be real. And that's why people don't like President HH, some of them, because he's very frank and straightforward. He will tell you, if he tell you no, he say no. Yes, he said no. I think, not you want to cosmetic things. No, it's a problem.
President Chabinga, we are grateful for having honored our invitation to the program tonight. But
before Tamulaisala, I want to tell my members of parliament, you did a great job for the Mother Zambia yesterday. and the people have seen. That is a people's driven amendment of the Constitution Bill 7. Job well done. And I can guarantee you, no one should intimidate you that will be expelled. I'm the only expeller. All those guys are jokers. Don't even listen to them. They are jokers. Actually, government will just tell them, you are nothing. You are non-entity. Team Chabs is the best. You are most welcome, including to the team of Given Lubinda, to the team of Honorable Mundubile. Drop your egos. Just come and talk to me so that we build this part together. Thank you very much to Crown TV for featuring me this night.
All right. Thank you so much for clarifying a number of critical issues, Mr. President.
Thank you so much.
All right. We've had